Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 3. We are learning Unit 6. Its title is Teamwork. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation, and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is, or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of pronunciation skills, we are going to learn final sound of ED as D, T, and it, and two consonant clusters. Before this, in English for grade 2, I have taught you about consonant clusters. I hope you remember the concept. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. And we are going to learn further to classify words that begin or end with the same two consonant clusters. Recognize that ED has three sounds, D, T, it, as in looked, danced, and landed. So let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in the Quran, Surah Al-Kawthar, verse 1 and 2. Indeed, we have granted you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Al-Kawthar. So prayer to your Lord and sacrifice. Yes, my dear students, what these beautiful verses are telling us. Beta, these verses are from Surah Al-Kawthar. Have you memorized it? That's good. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he is telling to him that we have granted you Al-Kawthar and pray to Allah and sacrifice. So this is a message for all of us as well, that we should make dua, we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only, and we should also sacrifice in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So beta, now look at this word, granted. How do we say it? Granted. So you tell me, how do you say these words? Okay, there are three words. How will you pronounce them? And what are consonant clusters? Now pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, I hope you have answered. Now you know these three words are ending on ED, and in every word, this ED has a different sound. How do we find it? We learn today, okay? So this word we pronounce as looked, failed, and landed. So this ED sounds like T, looked. This ED sounds like D as failed. And this ED sounds like it as landed. So how do we differentiate and how do we pronounce these words? We learn in detail, inshallah. So whenever a word is ending on ED, and now we know that action words are verb and verb. For their past and past participle tense, the regular verbs ended on ED. Remember this concept we have learned. So whenever you find a word is ending on ED, and when we pronounce it, there can be three possible sounds, T, D, and it. So how do we differentiate? ED will sound as T, final sound, when words ending in voiceless sound. So what you will do, you will find out before ED what sound is there. If it's, and remember I have taught you how do we find out it's voiceless. You'll place your hand on your vocal cord, you'll pronounce it. If there is a vibration, it's voiced letter, it's voiced sound, and if there is no vibration, it's voiceless sound. Remember? So if there is no vibration, and for all these sounds, let's practice. So these sounds don't have voice, they are voiceless sounds, and before ED, if you find one of these sounds, you will pronounce it as t. For example, he popped a balloon. Now, why this sound is sounding like t? Because before this, there is p, and p is voiceless sound. Understand? So you'll say it, he popped a balloon. They talked a lot. Talked, because k is again voiceless sound. So we'll say they talked a lot, right? So this ed will sound like t because of this sound, which is one of the voiceless sound, right? Okay, so better you will practice these sounds. All these sounds are voiceless, and whenever you find ed after these sounds, you will pronounce this ed as t, right? As in popped, talked. The next example is, okay, there are examples in your book when the last sound of a verb is voiceless and is not t, then the ed is pronounced as t. Here are the examples: passed, wrapped, coughed. Now you know why we are pronouncing this ed as t, because before this, the sound is voiceless sound. So this sound, this p sound is making ed to sound like t, right? Clashed, discussed, attached, liked, washed, milked, right? So better you can practice these sounds for the correct pronunciation. The next example is when a verb is ending on ed and the final sound will be d if it's before that there is a voiced sound. Okay, and these all are voiced sounds. You can test them by placing your hand on your vocal cord, pronounce these sounds, and you will feel a vibration. Okay, when you say it's b, 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 so you feel a vibration here, right? Likewise, g, g. So these sounds are little deeper, that's why you feel vibration, and these are known as voiced sounds. And if you find any voiced sound before ed, you will pronounce this ed as d. For example, he begged for a penny. So this ed will sound as d, begged. Here is the practice from your book. The examples are scored. Before ed, there is voiced sound and it is sounding as d. Cleared, formed, disturbed, failed, trained, proved, find. Now you got it? So this ed will sound d if before this ed there is a voice sound. So you'll practice these words as well. And the last sound is ed will sound as it. So how do we say this sound? It. Only when the word is ending on t or d. These two sounds, if before ed you find t or d, it means you will pronounce this ed as it. For example, I visited. This ed is pronouncing as it because before this there is t, visited. So these are the examples from your book: entrusted, founded, crowded, divided. So in all these sounds, because before ed there is d, before ed there is t, so it is sounding as id. Are you getting it? Let's practice it further. Defeated, accepted, decided, acted. So these are three sounds. When a verb is ending on ed, these three possible sounds are there. Let's practice it through an activity. Are you ready for that? Okay. So your teacher will provide students with sticky notes. Okay, teacher, kindly take sticky notes. Every student will write a verb with final ed. It's your own choice. You will write a verb of your own choice. Teacher will make 3 columns on board. Now each student will come, say the word, and paste it in the relevant column. Okay, so this is how the teachers, you will make 3 columns for t, id and d sound. Give sticky notes to students. They will write a word of their own choice and then they will paste it in the relevant column. So let's practice it till the time every child is clear with the concept. So pause the video, enjoy the activity and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. So it's time for the second concept. I asked you what are consonants. Remember? So when we take these 5 vowels A, E, I, O, and U, out of these alphabets, the rest letters, they are 21 altogether, they are called consonants. These 5 are vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and rest 21, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. These are consonants. And what does cluster mean? Cluster means when they are together, more than one consonant. So consonant cluster or blend. One thing more, in writing we say it cluster, and when we say it, when we pronounce it's called blend. Why? You will find the answer here. Are the names given to 2 or 3 consonants that appear together. It means whenever there are 2 or 3 consonants together, they are called consonant cluster. And each consonant keeps its sound when blended. That's why they are also called consonant blend. How do we say it? We pronounce the sound of each consonant and we do blend. We blend it while saying it. For example, block. Now you see block, black, blue, right? We have learned it before as well. Ring, so it's at final position. Spring. So if you find it at initial position or at final position, the rule is same. You will pronounce the sound, you will blend it, and then you will say the word. So here is practice from your book. Open your book, complete question number 2 and 3 in your notebooks, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job, you are smart. Oh, so I did it for you. So this consonant cluster can be used as initial as in thumb and final position as a tooth and booth, right? You see, at initial and final, both places we can use same consonant cluster, right? So it's time for your homework. You will write 5 pairs of rhyming words. And here is a worksheet, my dear fellow teachers. This worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. So my dear children, what we have learned today, we learned to classify words that begin or end with the same 2 consonant clusters, and we recognize that ed has 3 sounds as d, t, and id, as in looked, danced, and landed. So are we done with it? Yes. That's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning, keep practicing, and take very good care of yourself. Thank you, and Allah.